Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. My name is Tom Tompkins. I'm the host and the founder of Vehicle Visionary, and thanks to Holmes Honda here in Shreveport, Louisiana, they've loaned me this 2020 Honda Civic. This is the Sport Touring package for the day, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. There are a lot of incredible features on this car, some that you might not expect to see when you find a vehicle that comes in a price point under $30,000. The rally red paint on this car really sets it off, along with the black accents that are not only seen on the front end on the grille, but the trim on the windows and the rear wing and the rear of the car as well. One of the most eye-catching Civics, I think, on the road today. And I'll tell you what, even though the turbocharged engine is only making 180 horsepower, the way the car handles and drives, honestly, I don't think you're going to know the difference. You might sometimes think you're in a Civic Type R. Like I said, the front end on this car is stunning because of the black accents that it brings. The black grille, there's black trim all over the front. I really like how that sets off the chrome Honda badge right here. You have automatic LED headlights, daytime running lights, and fog lights built in to the bumper here. You also have a turn signal indicator built into the driver and passenger side view mirrors. Let's talk a little bit more about what's under the hood. And with the hood up on the 2020 Honda Civic, this is the 1.5-liter four-cylinder that powers this machine. It makes 180 horsepower and 162 foot-pounds of torque. It does have an automatic transmission, but there is an available manual transmission that you can also get with the Civic. The gas mileage is 29 in the city and 35 out on the highway. Pretty good. One thing I do want to point out, if you buy one of these turbocharged Civics, when you open the hood, you're going to notice there are no gas shocks to actually raise the hood on its own automatically. So right down here, you're going to see an arrow that's going to show you right where the stand is that I've got holding the hood up right now. If you're facing the vehicle and it's in front of you, it's going to be on your left or on the driver's right. Easy to find, easy to get in place, not a big deal. I must say I'm really impressed with how the lines just flow in every direction on the 2020 Civic. Whether it's here on the front end and on to the side, especially down here on the bottom of the doors, you've got the black trim continuing on the ground effects package, black trim around the windows, and black trim even around the manually folding side view mirrors that are heated, by the way, and like I said, have the turn signal indicator built in as well. You do have passive entry here via the button on the front door, and the absolutely stunning machined 18-inch wheels with painted accents. And as we move on to the rear of the 2020 Civic, you do have, of course, the antenna on the top of the roof. And right behind that is the spoiler right here that is meant to deflect air over the top of the rear window. That will actually keep dust and dirt and stuff like that from settling down on the window as you're cruising down the road. Nice feature. You do have a wiper right here if you need that, whether it's to clean the rear window or to just simply get water off of it when it's raining. You also have a rear defroster. I love the rear wing. It's the perfect size for this particular vehicle. It's not as large as what you would get on the Type R Civic, but it does fit perfectly on the Sport Touring version here. Again, it's black, matching the rally red, and really dual exhaust right here, and basically a rear diffuser as well. Not very large, but still, I really like what Honda has done with the back end here. The car looks sporty as it should. Of course, you have the remote that I'll show you right now. Very simple and easy to use, lock, unlock. You can open the rear hatch here with the remote, and you have a remote start as well. In addition to a panic button, there is also a button to open the hatch up back here, revealing quite a nice amount of space. And if this isn't enough for you, you also can put down the rear seats as well to increase your space. Now, how much space is actually back here? Well, at 5'10", I fit pretty well back here without stretching out. I could probably do that if I wanted to. One thing that's very interesting, when you lift up the cover right here, the carpet and everything, you've got the tools for changing your tire, you've got a funnel, and you also have a tow hook right here. That gets screwed into the front end if you ever need a tow, if you're out on the racetrack, which I promise you, this Civic would fit in perfectly on the racetrack. Yes, I know it doesn't make a ton of horsepower, but the way it handles, it would make it so much fun to track this car. And putting the rear hatch back down, of course, is super simple. Just pull on the handles and put the hatch down. Very easy to do. And here in the back seat, you do have room for 3 people. It is a 60-40 split. Headrests for all 3 of your passengers. You also have a fold-down armrest with cup holders built in. And the seats are also heated via the controls on the rear of the console. In addition, you have storage in the side doors and a storage pocket here on the rear of the passenger seat. Okay guys, here we are in the front seat of the Civic. And like I said, for under $30,000, you get some really nice features, including the sunroof here. Of course, it doesn't have an automatic shade, but that's okay, that's manual. But the button to automatically open the sunroof or close it is right here above the auto dimming rear view mirror. You do have heated driver and passenger seats. And here's something else that I think is very noteworthy of the 2020 Civic. Not only is the driver's seat power, but so is the passenger seat. And like I said, leather trimmed interior, it's very comfortable. You know, the seats are reasonably bolstered. This really isn't meant to be a high performance car in the respect of taking it out on the track like a Type R or something like that, but you do have some good bolstering here to keep you in place when driving if you ever decided to do something like that, and it just makes the seats more comfortable anyway. You do have filtration for the cabin here. You have an auto dimming interior lighting system. That's really nice. The instrument cluster, very well laid out. I like the display. Of course, you do have the infotainment screen, and I'll get to that in just a minute and tell you a little bit about that. Dual zone automatic climate control. You can adjust the fan speed and the temperature and everything if you choose to do so as well. And of course, you have the shifter here. You do have drive and sport mode. There are shifter paddles here on the leather trimmed steering wheel with chrome accents. Looks really nice, really sporty. Of course, you can adjust everything you would need to adjust here on the steering wheel itself. And you have a plethora of safety features. I'll list those on the screen for you right now. Okay guys, I just want to go over the navigation system real fast. There's so much here, I'm not going to take time to do everything. But of course, you have all of your buttons right here if you want to just get to something real fast. You've got home, map. I'll push that so you can see the map. You've got audio, which you can adjust here on the screen and via the knobs underneath. Same thing with the air conditioner. Don't have a phone connected right now, but that's the phone button. And then if you want to get back to where you were, just going to hit that back button down there or the home button up here. And of course, there are several different apps here available that you can go through, different settings. It is a really nice, simple system to figure out. You can go into settings right there and change pretty much anything you want to. You can see everything there, clock, phone, audio, camera, all that kind of stuff. And yes, this car does have a camera, so you've got a rear view camera, which is nice. I'll put the car in reverse so that you can see what it looks like right now. Got the front wheels turned to the right, so you can see that's why the grid is going that way, and it will follow the direction of the steering wheel. And then let's go back to where we were. You can change if you want the fixed guideline, which is what we just saw on, that can be on, or the dynamic guideline, that's also on, or you can turn that off depending on what you want to do. Basically, you can set this car up for your personal taste. You can turn lane watch on and off depending on what you want to do right there. So really, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. A lot of great technology here, a lot of great features. Okay guys, I'm out here on the road with the 2020 Civic. Like I said, really impressed with how this little car handles. And honestly, With 180 horsepower, you would think, based on the fact that a lot of us are used to more horsepower, that it might be a little bit disappointing, but the handling of this car alone really makes up for that. The steering wheel itself is not only really comfortable, but I just like the feel of the steering overall. It's nice and tight. It's very responsive. The brake pedal, the gas pedal are both very comfortable. Of course, I really like the way those look, but not only are they stylish, they're very practical. They are super comfortable. I like the way my foot rests on that. You do also have a footrest down on the left-hand side of the floorboard for yourself as well as the driver. So a lot of really nice conveniences. And when you need acceleration, this little car does accelerate pretty well. I mean, keep in mind, it's not a really heavy car, so it's going to accelerate when you need it to. And I'm going to get out on the open road here in just a minute and put it in sport mode, and we'll see how responsive the shifter paddles are. One little feature I'd like to mention that unfortunately I can't really show as I'm driving because I just couldn't get my camera mounted in the back seat properly where it would stay in place to show you, but it's on the infotainment screen here in the center of the dashboard. And it's something I really wish that more car manufacturers would put in their vehicles. That is, when you turn on your right-hand blinker, you're going to see the camera on the right-hand side of the car come on. And instead of having to look over in your blind spot, you can just look at the screen and see if anyone is there or not. I really like that. I know I originally showed all of you that particular feature on the Honda Ridgeline truck that I did a while back. So you can actually see that feature. I might put that into the video because it's the same exact thing. I was able to actually get the camera to sit in the back seat in that vehicle, which was really nice. But it just didn't, the tripod just did not want to stay in place here in this one. So I'm gonna drop down into sport mode here and we'll see how it does. Should be, I can already tell a difference. The throttle response has changed. Let's see how we shift here. I'm gonna tell you what, that is really impressive to me. I've driven a lot of cars that are basically in the same class as this Civic. And to be honest with you, typically when you use the shifter paddles, they're not responsive, but the shifter paddles here, just like that, as soon as I pulled the shifter paddle back to change gears, it changed gears without a problem. Very impressive. Again, something I have to say, Honda, well done. If you're looking for a really sporty little car like this one, I mean, you're not going to be disappointed picking one of these up. Like I say, for less than $30,000 in this price range. Not only are the shifts precise, they're also very smooth. So I have to say, that's really amazing to me. And that will bring to a close my time with the 2020 Honda Civic. I have to admit, the Sport Touring version lives up to its name. It's a great car for taking on trips, but it's also ultra sporty. A lot of fun to drive. I have to say, I'm very impressed, especially for what you get for the price. If this is something you're interested in picking up, I highly recommend going to your local Honda dealership and taking a test drive to take a closer look at this particular vehicle. And if you live in or around the Northwest Louisiana, make sure to come by Holmes Honda right here in Shreveport. I appreciate Holmes Honda for loaning me this incredible car for the day. And I appreciate all of you for taking the time to watch today's video. Thank you so much. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you next time on Vehicle Visionary.